For the first time in NESRN history, it's time for Tuesday Night Truckin' on YouTube. Hi, hello, and good evening, race fans! It's a beautiful fall evening in New Brunswick, New Jersey, as we welcome you to tonight's coverage of the inaugural race of the NR2003 Loves American Truck Series, the Scotch Tape 250. Live from the New Jersey Motor Speedway, once again, welcome everybody to tonight's Intercast on the North American Sim Racing Network. Upstairs in the press box, my name is Trey Wright, and we're so proud to bring you coverage for the first of 15 races of the Loves American Truck Series here in 2025, aka known as the LATS. This is the rebranded Winston All-American Series from the early winter of 2024, and we are so excited to get tonight rolling off with 53 laps around the New Jersey Motor Speedway here this evening. This is a mostly developmental series on the NESRN with a lot of new faces for both team owners and drivers, but there is some spillover from the Mission Barbecue Cup Series field that will have their season finale later this week on November 1st here this Saturday at NJMS. But that is then and this is now, and we've got 42 truck drivers to meet here this evening, so let's go downstairs for our full field rundown for the start of the 2025 Loves American Truck Series season. Starting shotgun on the field in row 21 on the outside lane is the number 51 Walmart F-150 of Kasumi Takashi. To her inside is the number 15 Home Depot Tundra of Tyler Ware. Starting in row 20 on the outside lane is the number 2 Family Guy Tundra of Dylan Matthews. To her inside, the number 98 Gamebridge F-150 of Charlie Davenport. Starting in row 19 on the outside lane is the number 67 Fram F-150 of Pedro Sabato. To his inside, the number 42 Mountain Dew Tundra of Reggie Fogelman. Starting in row 18 on the outside lane is the number 1 Big Red Silverado of Eric Monaco. To his inside is the number 6 Mopar Ram of Kyler Anderson. In row 17 on the outside lane is the number 34 Taco Bell Ram of Matt Lagacy. To his inside, the number 3 GoBowling.com Ram of Joseph Wood. Starting in row 16 on the outside lane is the number 8 Shell Pennzoil Silverado, the 2024 Winston All-American Series champion of Riley Sampson, and to his inside is the number 59 Lenovo Silverado of Nathan the Big Staples Stapleton. In row 15 on the outside lane is the number 50 Rockstar Energy Silverado of the Colonel Caleb Rose, and to his inside is the number 18 Craftsman Silverado of Colin Jones. Starting in row 14 on the outside lane is the number 99 Five Guys Tundra of Alexander Rowe. To his inside, the number 29 Domino's F-150 of Dylan Ebrahimian. In row 13 on the outside lane is the number 95 USG Sheetrock Silverado of JT Reynolds. To his inside, the number 43 Sunoco Tundra of Bruno Diacomo. Starting in row 12 on the outside lane is the number 78 M&M's F-150 of Bryce Egan. To his inside, the number 88 Interstate Batteries Ram of Russell Blaze. Starting in row 11 on the outside lane is the number 14 Burger King Silverado of Cason Del Monte. To his inside, the number 82 Carolina Railroad Ram of Bradley Ream. Beginning the top half of the field in row 10 on the outside lane is the number 81 Sinclair Tundra of Jay McMichael. To his inside, the number 24 Old Spice Silverado of Nathan Ormond. Starting in row 9 on the outside lane, the number 44 Castrol F-150 of Cole Sampson. To his inside, the number 08 Pets.com F-150 of Corbin Wentz. In row 8 on the outside lane is the number 4 Valvoline Ram of Danny Fallington. To his inside, the number 71 Menards Ram of Igor Barreto. Starting in row 7 on the outside lane is the number 83 Sirius XM F-150 of Taylor Lay. To his inside is the number 11 Polaris Ram of Lucas Catano. Starting in row 6 on the outside lane is the number 40 Realtree Ram of Chris Harvey. To his inside, the number 10 Octane Ram of Carson Miller. Cracking open the top 10 in row 5 on the outside lane is the number 54 Tide F-150 of Michael Lewis. To his inside, the number 0 Hot Wheels Ram of Carlos Murphy. In row 4, on the outside lane, is the number 01 Makita F-150 of Roberto Crown Jr. To his inside, the number 37 Twisted TF-150 of Rogel Dorn. Starting in row 3, on the outside lane, is the number 45 Wawa Tundra of Skylar Taylor. To her inside, the number 39 Kodak F-150 of Samat Ozgen. Starting in row 2, on the outside lane, the number 64 RCA F-150 of Esteban Lacer. To his inside, the number 41 Texas Roadhouse Tundra of Aaron Abel. And on the front row for the Scotch Tape 250, on the outside lane, the number 57 Harbor Freight F-150 of Lauren Martinez. To her inside, your pole sitter, the number 07 Pennzoil Silverado of Alex Lozano, posting a pole time of 30.116 seconds. With the starters out of the way, this packed crowd on a Tuesday evening has been waiting for a while, and it's now time to bring the action, and it's time to bring the noise. Let's go down trackside for the most famous words in motorsports to fire the engines for the first race of the last season, the Scotch Tape 250.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines roar to life on the pit lane at the New Jersey Motor Speedway, and we're ready to rock and roll. Here this evening, Alex Lozano sits on the pole position, like we just said, in that number 07 Pennzoil machine. Lauren Martinez, development driver for John Andrews, in the number 57 machine for Andrews Racing in row 1. 41 machine of Aaron Abel, owner-driver for Racing Motorsports. Another owner-driver next to him, Esteban Lacer, in the 64 machine. And back in row number 3, Samat Ozgen, another owner-driver in the number 39, next to another owner-driver, Skylar Taylor in the 45. A lot of owner-drivers towards the front end of the field here. Getting a good look at the F-150 pace truck. It'll be the main pace truck here for this season of Lat's competition. 53 laps are in order for tonight's race at this just under a 1.5 mile speedway in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Stages completing at laps 15 and 30. We're ready to rock and roll. Pace truck is down the pit lane. 42 trucks ready to go through the race's restart zone. And here we are. Green flag out and away, and the inaugural season of the Loves American Truck Series is green. Three wide, midway through the field, and right at the stripe, looking to lead the first lap in Lat's history. I believe it was Aaron Abel. 3 wide for the top spot. The field will downshift here in turns 1 and 2. And it was Alex Lozano leading by 27 one-thousandths of a second that last time by. And Lozano, the pole sitter on the outside lane, trying to make it work. 3 wide through the field. Here comes Aaron Abel in the 41 truck. 41 machine sponsored by Texas Roadhouse. Here comes Rogel Dorn in the Twisted T number 37 machine. A lot of yellow and black trucks towards the front end of the field. Abel leads, Dorn in second. How about Samat Ozgen was one of the few returners from the Winston All-American Series. Owner of Ozgen Racing. He and Dylan Abrahimian. The 2 drivers for Ozgen Racing, Carlos Murphy, younger brother to Toby Murphy. Last time Toby Murphy raced at this track, won the 2024 championship for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, and Carlos looking to make a name for himself here in the lots, currently running in 5th. Couple of trucks jockeying for position towards the tail end of the field there. Nose to tail are the 2 O2 Racing entries. That's the 10 of Carson Miller. Will be racing for a championship Saturday night. Trying to cut his teeth and get a little bit of experience early on here. Right in front of him, a new face to the North American Sim Racing Network, Lucas Catano. Of course, if we mispronounce anybody's names, feel free to correct us down in the comments section below. Towards the tail end of the field, and a lot of drivers from the Mission Barbecue Cup Series towards the tail end of here. One of them being the 99 of Alexander Rowe for Fallout Racing. It's a 54 machine of Michael Lewis going towards the tail end of the field. We got 4 wide towards the tail end of the field. Corbin Wentz, driver that'll be racing tomorrow evening in the Fuel Racing League. That 08 machine up on the high side. Here comes the 95. That's JT Reynolds in the number 95 machine underneath the 67 of Pedro Sabato, a development driver for Esteban Lacerra's the Gerben Racing Team, going to a 2-truck program compared to the 1-car program they've got in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Already on lap number 6, and we're quickly approaching the midway point through stage number 1, and out front is a 3-car breakaway. Aaron Abel looking to get his first win here in the Love's American Truck Series, and of course with the rebrand. This is technically season 2 of the tertiary series here on the North American Sim Racing Network. Right now, Owen Miles, who is not on the grid, has the most wins in series history with 3. Nathan Orman has 2. And there's Orman right on the outside, just inside the top 10, right behind the 71 of Igor Barreto. Orman making his return to the channel after a brief retirement stint from the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Single file to start out here. We're putting pretty much the entire field as a rocket down the back straightaway. And here comes Dorn looking for a little bit of a ledge underneath the 41 of Abel. Those two side by side going through the quad oval, door to door. Abel is able to lead the lap with a runoff for the corner. Here comes Lozano, the outside pole sitter. And Lozano not able to make the pass stick, but here comes Dorn. 1 win on the channel so far in his career. That came by leading all 125 laps at the Vancouver Motor Speedway. Lozano thought about making it 3 wide, going into 3, thought better of it. Dorn on the inside will complete the pass. We've got a new race leader. 6 laps to go in stage number 1. Carlos Murphy making his way up to 4th. Lauren Martinez now trying to get underneath the 39 truck of Ozgen. Catano underneath the 57. A couple of new faces inside the top 10. One of them being the 88 of Russell Blaze. Blaze, who has raced, and I believe he may have won a couple of races over on the WRLA Pepsi Cup Series, over on Elijah Gordon's side of things, corner of the internet. Blaze in the number 88 machine. Or, I'm trying to remember what team that number 88 car is in. I know it's owned by Joseph Wood. I'm trying to remember the team name. It is Dodge Racing. Should have known given the Dodge sponsorship. A lot of Dodges in the field here for this 15 race stretch. Of course, Joseph Wood more towards the tail end of the field. There he is in the number 3 machine. Going to the inside of him, Danny Fallington and Igor Barreto's traditional livery he's got on the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, as well as the Flowmaster Grand Touring Championship. But Fallington will be driving that Valvoline machine that Barreto has made so famous. Tyler Ware trying to go to the inside of JT Reynolds. Right at the back end of the field here. Some other new drivers midway through the field. Kyler Anderson in the 6 for Railfan Motorsports Bradley Reams foray. Same thing for this 14 truck, Cason Del Monte, a new face. Same thing with the 83 of Taylor Lay. As well as Colin Jones here in this 18 machine. 43 of Bruno Diacomo, the 82 of Bradley Ream. 01 Roberto Crown Jr. sporting the Makita colors. Chris Harvey, a new face up towards the front end of the field here. 2 laps to go in stage number 1, and Rogel Dorn looking to lead everybody out here, but here comes Carlos Murphy in that American Motorsports number 0 truck. Murphy looking for a teammate who's towards the tail end of the field there in that Taco Bell number 34 entry. That is Matt Lagacy. Driver over on the FMGTC side of things. This is the first time he has ever been in a stock vehicle of any type. Legacy, who has raced quite a few races over on the Flying Aces YouTube channel over on iRacing. His traditional Taco Bell livery. Doesn't look like he's going to get any sort of stage points. Dorn right now is showing the race lead. Here comes Lozano underneath of Murphy to take second away. But off of turns 3 and 4, the first stage in Lat's history will go to the 37 Twisted Tea Machine of Rogel Dorn. And we're off and running here in stage number 2. Once again, no cautions in between stages. Getting that last little bit of stage points there was the 88 of Blaze. This has been some really good racing, all things considered, because typically here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway, we see these drivers be very aggressive over on the NBCS side of things. Of course, this is the first non-championship race that we have had here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway, and some really good racing for these race trucks so far. Hopefully that'll translate into this coming Saturday night, the night after Halloween, a spooky season right now. Hopefully it will not be spooky season by the time we get into NBCS action for the season finale coming up here in just a couple of days. Speaking of spooky season, the Halloween race for the Fuel Racing League taking place tomorrow evening up in Saint Felicien in Quebec for the penultimate race of the Fuel Racing League's Grand National Division. On the online side of things, here on the North American Sim Racing Network, that'll get started around 9:15 Eastern Time here on the NASRN, your exclusive home for the Fuel Racing League. Speaking of fuel, these drivers might have to come down the pit lane here in a couple, maybe about 10-15 laps. We're about midway through the opening pit cycle. These guys can do about 30 to 33 laps here at New Jersey. Of course, we'll likely see 2 pit stops of the same caliber in the next race here. Now, one truck, Nathan Orman, trying to make some headway in the 24, but the entire top 10 running relatively single file. Got a couple instances of double file as Blaze will pop out of line. Catano trying to move on the outside. He's going to get a great run in that number 11 Polaris machine. Couple other drivers midway through the field. There's Colin Jones, we mentioned him, and there's the Colonel Caleb Rose ditching the Tide Rod colors for the Rockstar. Colors in that black and gold number 50 machine for Appalachia Motorsports. Joseph Wood going to the inside of that 50 machine. There's a look at Reggie Fogelman's number 42 Mountain Dew truck with a 95 of JT Reynolds right behind him. Nathan Stapleton jumping ship from NS Racing in the truck division to Appalachia Motorsports, number 59 Lenovo machine. Right behind a big staple, the 44 of Cole Sampson. A very odd looking car. I don't think I've ever expected to see Cole Sampson ditching the DeWalt colors for the Castrol number 44 machine, but there he is making some good headway. Is the 2 truck of Dylan Matthews, one of the returners from the Winston All-American Series and re-picking up that Family Guy sponsorship she had back in 2024. Kasumi Takashi started shotgun in the field in the 51, making some decent ground as well. Tyler Lay, the other truck for ST Motorsports, along with Michael Lewis. NS Racing pretty much scattered around through this grid here. Sans Zachary Fitzwater, who is not racing this season. There's Charlie Davenport in the 98 Gainbridge machine for Davenport Family Racing single truck outfit for both the NBCS and the LAT. Jay McMichael towards the tail end of the field for McMichael Motorsports, number 81 Sinclair Toyota Tundra. There's Riley Sampson, both Sampson brothers on the grid here for the Loves American Truck Series this season. Both of them on different teams. I never expected Riley Sampson to jump ship from Appleseed Racing to Silverado Power Racing, which is Eric Monaco's outfit, and both of those trucks towards the tail end of the field. Currently running 38th and 40th at the moment. There's Eric Monaco. Dylan Ebrahimian right now running in 42nd, and caboose in the tail end of the field right now, the 78 of Bryce Egan. And back out front, it's once again the 41 of Aaron Abel. Got around the 37 of Rogel Dorn, and Abel will lead his 11th lap of the evening as these guys starting to fall off a little bit here in terms of the tire wear. It's Matt Oskin with the fastest lap of the race right now with 30.094, and these guys that last time by running about 0.8 of a second in terms of fall off. 5 laps to go in stage numero dos. Carlos Murphy looking to make some headway in the Zero truck. Of course, with the short schedule, there's not going to be a chase for the championship this season, unless that's something that you guys would want to go ahead and see. Haven't fully made a decision on that. We'll probably make a complete decision by race number 5. If that's something you guys will be interested in seeing, leave a comment down below or put something in the Discord server. Link to the Discord server down below. 4 laps to go in stage number 2. Rogel Dorn led the opening stage here. Trying to win the second stage is Aaron Abel. Abel, who is in a deep fight for the championship for GT Daytona on the Flowmaster Grand Touring Championship last time we checked. And now we got some trucks coming down the pit lane. We got a lot of trucks coming down here. On lap number 28, lap number 27, I should say, Carlos Murphy is going to flip the stage, it looks like. These guys coming down lap 28, so we're past the midway point in the race. That was exactly at midway, I should say. And here comes the rest of the field. Everybody downshifting. You can hear the chorus of drivers downshifting, and Russell Blaze going sideways on the front straightaway. So the caution will come out here right in the middle of pit stops, and Blaze, the rookie in his first race on the North American Sim Racing Network, causes the series' opening caution, and we've got a lot of drivers jamming up here in the pits. We got the 59 and the 44, the 54 getting turned around. And this is likely going to be a scoring nightmare, as Russell Blaze, not sure where he is. There's that 88 truck. Oh, and nearly a couple of drivers running into one another as a couple of drivers have retired from the race. Bradley Ream and Skylar Taylor, I think they got together on the pits. And we're going to have a scoring nightmare here as we're under the first caution in Love's American Truck Series history, and we're going to have a lot of drivers that are likely going to be caught on the tail end of the lead lap, and we had a lot of drivers that ran into one another on the pit area. Again, this is a very tight pit lane where we see a lot of volume. Not exactly something you want to see here, as we got some drivers trying to race around the pace truck to get back on the lead lap. Carson Miller got ran into in the 10 truck. See if these drivers will be on the tail end of the lead lap here. Danny Fallington right now being scored as the race leader. I'm not sure where Fallington is at the moment. There's Fallington in the number 4 machine. Probably get this race restarted with about 20 laps to go. And we'll see how many drivers will be caught on the tail end of the lead lap as the caution coming out during our opening set of pit stops. It all started when Russell Blaze got turned around, loose coming out of the pits. See if we'll have to throw the yellow one more time here to get everybody nice and orderly. Right now it is showing Danny Fallington as the race leader, with Dylan Matthews right behind him. But nonetheless, got our first incident of the Season 2 review right in the middle of pit stops, and let's go ahead. Actually, Rogel Dorn is going to be scored as the race leader with quite a few trucks in front of that number 37 machine. So a couple of trucks on the tail end of the lead lap here, but nonetheless, we'll go ahead and see what happened to bring out the race's opening caution here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway in the Scotch Tape 250. So we're able to see both incidents on your screen right here, as the 45 is going to run right in the back of the 10. You see that on the bottom of your screen. That's going to be a big jam up in the back. But right now in the foreground, Russell Blaze, I don't know why he's trying to get down the pit lane that late. Spins right in front of Danny Fallington. And Blaze will go sideways on the track. He'll spin that Interstate Batteries Dodge around, as I thought Dylan Matthews was going to clip him. I thought a couple of people were going to clip him, but you see Bradley Ream ran right into the back of the 45, and the 45 ran in the back of the 10. So that is going to knock both Bradley Ream and Skylar Taylor out of the race here tonight. That is a tough break for both of those drivers. Again, this is a very, very narrow pit lane here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway. It's about, if we can get a helicopter cam, you can see how narrow of a pit lane it is, especially with the inside wall there. And these guys, well, especially when there's mass volume pitting like we just saw here, a lot can go wrong. We saw a couple of drivers get turned sideways, but nonetheless, with Blaze missing the pits, that is going to bring out the race's first caution of the evening, and that's, I'm hoping we're not going to get a ton of drivers trapped a lap down. Of course, Rogel Dorn was able to get a nice pit stop there in the 37 truck, but not sure where Blaze, again, we got that big stack up on the pit lane back in here. But we'll take another look at this accident, and then we'll get you back to the restart here after the first caution of the season here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway, a pit road mishap. Fair for a couple of drivers. Looking at this one final time with Russell Blaze as he missed the entrance to the pits, spun that 88 truck around. And pretty much all she wrote there for the incident. And we're going to go ahead and rewind it here to show you what happened with both the 10 and the 45, or the 10, the 45, and the 82. We'll go into our overhead cam here as we'll follow along with Skylar Taylor in real time. Ran right into the back of Carson Miller and subsequently Bradley Ream, nowhere to go as well. That's a bunch of Mission Barbecue Cup Series veterans running into one another on the pit lane here. It's a very narrow pit lane to get down. Of course, a lot of drivers running into one another here on the pits, and hopefully they won't do the exact same thing in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series race later on this week. But nonetheless, Rogel Dorn, who came down the pit lane right as the caution came out, will slot out to be the race leader. We'll see how many cars are on the tail end of the lead lap when we get back. But nonetheless, hey, it was only, is that a 4-tire or 2-tire stop there for the 37? I'm not sure, but nonetheless, we'll get you back to the racing action here for the final handful of laps of the Scotch Tape 250. And we're back here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway cleaning up the race's opening caution. We got one truck, it looks like has some sort of mechanical issue dropping to the inside. It is Danny Fallington. Some sort of issue on the Ford truck as he will join Skylar Taylor and Bradley Ream as the two drivers in the garage area after they both ran into a couple of trucks right off the restart. Rogel Dorn slated as the race leader here. Couple of trucks on the tail end of the lead lap from that pitting fiasco, but pretty much everybody nose to tail here. Dorn, the winner of both stages, leading the field back to the race's restart zone. Green flag back out in the air with 21 laps to go here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway this evening. Fast lap of the race, Matt Oskin remaining with a 30.4 second lap, 21 to go in the season opener here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway. And Rogel Dorn trying to get around a couple of drivers that were on the tail end of the lead lap. Dylan Ebrahimian will go a lap down in the number 29 machine. Dorn trying to get around the lap traffic here. Nearly up in the outside wall went Igor Barreto. 20 to go from the New Jersey Motor Speedway. Everybody has made their one and only pit stop of the evening. Here comes Nathan Ormond, right now the all-time winningest driver in series history. current driver would be able to tie Owen Miles with a win here this evening, and Orman up to second in the 24 car. 24 truck, I should say. Rogel now trying to get a little bit of a pick between himself and the 29. Abeles up here in the 41. Lozano fighting for with the 11 truck of Catano. Catano will move up to the outside, is looking for a nice run. Here comes Dorn trying to get the 2-for-1 special. Thought about making it 3 wide underneath both the 81 and the 42. Fogelman will go up the track. Now it's McMichael, who is next up on the chopping block to be put a lap down here with 18 to go. Orman not out of the picture just yet. He's able to get around the lap trucks. Still a little bit of traffic out in front of these guys. Something happened to the 4 truck right off of the restart, like we said. He had a flat tire that he had to come down the pit lane for. So I'll put Fallington 1 lap down towards the tail end of the field here. And now, a little bit of lap down trouble is that 37 truck. That was a very tough break for Toby Murphy, who is right now about to go 1 lap down, was part of the migration of trucks that came down the pit lane 1 lap early, and then everybody came down, was trapped on a lap down, or trapped on the tail end of the lead lap was Murphy. And he right now is hoping for a quick caution to get this race, or get himself back towards the tail end of the field, but he is currently right now a lap down as Dorn will move underneath of him. That's now 2 trucks between Dorn and the 24 of Ormond. Orman, 0.3 of a second behind the 37, and now a little bit of a bobble there from Jay McMichael. Underneath the 51 of Kasumi Takashi. Remember, that is his teammate there for Rogel Dorn. That 51 truck as Dorn will go to the inside of the 81. Orman now going underneath the 42 of Fogelman, and more trucks going between the 37 and the 24. Quite a few picks in there between those guys. Takashi now in front of the 37 truck with 16 to go from the New Jersey Motor Speedway. A chocked week full of action here on the North American Sim Racing Network. The tough trucks of the Loves American Truck Series here this evening. We got the penultimate race of the Fuel Grand National Series tomorrow evening at St. Felician. And then Saturday evening, a full frontal show for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, qualifying taking place at 6 p.m. here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway for the Max Buchanan Foundation 500 and the MBF 500, kicking off 1 hour after qualifying here on the NESRN. But right now, it's truck night on a Tuesday in America, coming around to 13 laps to go. Rogel Dorn looking to start the season off well with a decent win. He's got 13 more circuits try to keep in front of the 24. Nathan Orman looking for a nice start to the season for Ormond Motorsports. Right now, the team to beat towards the front end of the field. I don't see Carson Miller towards the front end of the field right now. Again, Miller, remember, he got caught up in that mess on the pit lane under the caution flag, so he is marred towards the tail end of the field. That number 10 truck, if I'm not mistaken, he might have fallen off a little bit of the pace. There he is, last truck in line, behind the 54 truck of Michael Lewis. Back to the front of the field, and now it's 2 trucks between the 37 and the 24. Oh, Fogelman shutting the door on Orman, and that is going to lose a lot of ground for Orman. He had to get way out of the throttle. Here comes Ebrahimian. Dylan Ebrahimian will put another spot in between the 24 and the 37 trucks. McMichael still out in front of that 37 Toyota. But this is Carson Miller's program. Provision Motorsports looking to start the week off right as Miller. Actually, in his, not Carson Miller's program. This is, oh, who am I thinking? 23 for Mission Barbecue. The current points leader, the current championship favorite. I'm blanking. I don't know why I'm blanking right now. Matthew Hubert, thank you. Thank you, Google. This is Matthew Hubert's outfit as Hubert, the current points leader, going into the final race of the season for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Up the racetrack goes the 37. He'll lose a spot to Murphy. McMichael looking to go underneath the Twisted T Ford with 9 laps to go. Now a little bit of ground shift in favor of the 24 truck. And how about Lucas Catano up in here, rocking P3 in his first ever start on the channel? Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, and Toyota, your top 4, all 4 manufacturers inside the top 4. This field will rocket around here to 8 laps to go at the New Jersey Motor Speedway. That 37 truck is just desperately trying to get around the lap traffic in front of him. And trying to get around Reggie Fogelman is Nathan Stapler, Nathan Ormond. A lot of Nathans on the grid here. McMichael will go up the racetrack, will wave in front of the 37. Takashi still in front of that 37 truck as now Murphy will go in front. And now looking for a brazen. Here's a 3-wide move here, and a Nathan Ormond is going to have to jump off of the gas in time, and he's going to lose a lot of ground. Here comes Catano in the 11. That truck, that one is part of Carson Miller's outfit. Catano was looking to move underneath the 24, wasn't able to gain ground. Here comes Aaron Abel. Abel not able to get underneath the 11. These guys jockeying for second. It's going to open things up to a half a second lead for Rogel Dorn in truck number 37. Dorn leads, 6 laps to go from New Jersey. 1 truck in front of him. Fogelman now looking to get around the 37. He'll go to the inside, the Twisted T Ford. Nearly on the quarter panel there. Ormond up the racetrack. Able to hold on to that Old Spice number 24 truck. 5 laps to go for Rogel Dorn. Has led the most laps here this evening. And is looking for a clean sweep of both the stages and the race. Here tonight at the New Jersey Motor Speedway, Fogelman right behind him, however. Fogelman trying to go to the inside, and here comes Ormond. He knows that now's the time to try to make a brazen move. He'll move underneath the 42, will dump some air on the rear end spoiler, and now trying to play spoiler with 4 laps to go is Nathan Ormond. He's within 3 truck lengths of the race leader. Ormond is clear of the lap traffic, but is he going to run out of time here with 4 laps to go? Another little bit of a bobble through the corner. That rear end shifting all over the place. And Dorn is hoping that these next 3.5 laps will move like the western wind. He still has some dirty air with lap traffic in front of him, and Ormond trying to catch up to the race leader. 3 laps to go in the Scotch Tape 250. Dorn, Ormond, Catano, your podium right now. Aaron Abel, and how about Roberto Crown Jr., who's got a ton of damage from a pit lane incident. On the driver's side of that Makita 01 truck, he's now inside the top 5. Ormond now right on the back end of the 37. He is about a truck length and a half off here, coming around to sticks in the air. 2 laps to go from the New Jersey Motor Speedway. The gap between the 37 and the 24 now to under a truck length. It's going to be a match race right here between the 24 and the 37, and Ormond's got to run off of the corner. Doesn't quite peek down to the inside just yet, but he's right on the back end, that Twisted T Ford F-150. 3 wide for a brief moment in front of these drivers as they rocket around turns 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go from the New Jersey Motor Speedway. Rogel Dorn looking to hold on. Nathan Ormond trying to cut to the inside. To the inside of lap traffic goes the 37. Here comes Ormond, but he bobbled in the corner once again. Ormond is going to have one more shot at this race win. Oh, he might have a move to the outside of the 37. He's going to go way up the racetrack, nearly into the outside wall, and that's going to do it. Off of turns 3 and 4, wire to wire all night long, and Rogel Dorn will win here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway. That is one heck of a way to start the season. Rogel Dorn leads 35 laps en route to a dominating win, and Lucas Catano stealing second away from Nathan Orman on the last lap. It was that bobble in both turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4 that ultimately cost Orman a shot at the win, and he will remain in the podium. However, we got a couple of trucks missing the pit entry. Colin Jones doing some agricultural work there. But Rogel Dorn and the 37 truck getting the job done here this evening. Here at the New Jersey Motor Speedway, and what a race that was. Here tonight is Rogel Dorn getting the job done. We'll take a look here at the official standings for tonight's contest at New Jersey. Rogel Dorn, your race winner, Samet Ozkin with the fastest lap. You'll see the fastest pit stop at the top right-hand side of your screen in a few moments as well. Lucas Catano, runner-up finish for his first race of the season. Nathan Orman rounds out the podium in third. Aaron Abel and Roberto Crown Jr. round out the top 5. Alex Lozano, the pole sitter, 6th. Lauren Martinez finished 7th. Samet Ozkin, 8th. Bruno Diacomo in the 43 up to 9th. Esteban Lacer will round out the top 10 in the 64 truck. We had 2 drivers that failed to finish the race, Skylar Taylor and Bradley Ream, with that incident on the pit lane. 35 trucks on the lead lap and 40 trucks in total finishing this evening's race at the New Jersey Motor Speedway. And what a whale of a race we had here tonight as Rogel Dorn dominates, leads 35 of the 53 laps, and is able to get the job. And he also swept both stages here tonight as well. So a job well done there for Rogel Dorn as you take a look at the rest of your results on the ticker scrolling up on your screen. And I think it's safe to say that we had a nice blend of action and chaos here, as we're accustomed to on the North American Sim Racing Network, to a little bit of NR racing here tonight. But nonetheless, getting the job done is Rogel Dorn, and we're off and running. 1 race down, 15 to go. And that will do it here from the New Jersey Motor Speedway. Congratulations once again to Rogel Dorn for winning the Scotch Tape 250, race number 1 of 15 here in 2025 for the Loves American Truck Series. And I'm so glad to get this 3rd series back up and running. We've got all 3 series running here for the only time this week. Don't exactly have the FMGTC until November, but we've got 3 active series here for the first time this week, and the only time here as these 3 series will cross paths. But like we said, congratulations to Rogel Dorn for winning the Scotch Tape 250. Tomorrow night will be the second to last race of the Fuel Grand National Series slate, live from St. Felician, Quebec at 9 Eastern. Will be the semi-final race of the Fuel Grand National Series. Taking a look at what the race name for that is tomorrow night. That's going to be the Napa Auto Pro Fall Classic. Brendan Whitford sponsoring that race tomorrow evening here on the North American Sim Racing Network. That gets kicked off with an 8:55 pre-race, 9 p.m. qualifying, and 9:15 race time here. Then on Saturday night, it's the championship weekend for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. The Max Buchanan Foundation kicks off with qualifying at 6 p.m. and race coverage at 7, right here exclusively on the NASRN. Our next Lats race will be on Tuesday. We got a 1-week break, a little bit of an off week here. We've got the Lats running a couple of times a week here, but we've got next Tuesday night, November 4th, from the Darlington Raceway, the ASC Die Hard 200 will get started at 8 p.m. here on the NASRN. That'll do it for tonight's broadcast. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your point standings after race number 1, the 2025 Loves American Truck Series season. And from New Brunswick, New Jersey, on behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright. Have a great evening, folks, and we'll see you back here in New Jersey Saturday night for the NBCS season finale.